Miss Supranational has been going for about 3 days now. The sashing ceremony has taken place, but it was not live streamed. I think it was pre-filmed and they'll probably release it eventually, but then by then, I mean man, all of the girls already posted their outfits. Missology is posting all of the outfits one by one as we speak, and it's just like, why not just do a live stream? You know, when Andre was part of the org, this is the type of attention to detail which I loved. You know, the man was very attuned to what the people wanted. But anyway, we have to talk about my early favorites for Miss Supranational this year. I have a top 24, but, big but, they are in alphabetical order. I do not have the emotional bandwidth to put them into order from 24 to number 1 to the winner. You know what I mean? I just cannot do that right now. So I had to go and check who my favorites were, but they are in alphabetical order. So these are my early top 24 for Miss Supranational 2025. And if you're wondering why a 24, that's such a random number, it's because Miss Supranational always has a top 24. So I'm just trying to stay canonically correct, you know what I mean? I just want to have it the way it will be on finals night. So this is my alphabetical top 24 for Miss Supranational 2025. First of all, we have Australia, Krysta Heath, who is 28 years old. I like Australia this year quite a lot. She is a mental health advocate and also a self-love advocate, which we love. Then we have Bolivia, Vanessa Hayes, who is 26 years old. Now, if she looks familiar to you, she was actually the 4th runner-up at Miss International 2023. And if she's good enough for Miss International, she's definitely good enough for me. So she's also in my top 24. Then we have Brazil's Eduarda Braum, who is 24 years old, and she's a big fan favorite this year. I've noticed a lot of people absolutely love her. She is so stunning, and well, she should be because she's a model and also a presenter. Then we have Cambodia's Chandara, who is 26 years old. Now, if she looks familiar to you, she was actually supposed to compete at Miss Supranational 2024, but she actually had to withdraw due to visa issues. She competed at the Miss Supranational 2024 Super Chat event and all of that, but she had to withdraw because she couldn't come to Poland due to visa issues. Then we have Colombia, Daniela Roldán, who is 20 years old, and she's only 20, but I feel like she's adorable, and she's a fashion design student as well. Then we have Costa Rica's Fabiola Vindas, who is 24 years old. She is a clinical chemical lab student, so she is intelligent AF, and I just feel like she's gorgeous as well. Then we have Curaçao's Quishantely Leito, who is 22 years old. She is a social worker as well as a refugee youth advocate, so she is all about saving the children. If she doesn't get where she wants to go at Miss Supranational this year, then I would highly recommend her going to Miss World, since we know children is their thing. So I just love Curaçao as well. I love her for her heart and what I've seen from her, so she's definitely on my list. Then we have Dominican Republic's Karibel Pérez, who is 28 years old, and she was actually the first runner-up at a minor international pageant called Universal Woman in 2023, so that's definitely something. Then we have Ecuador's Isabel Cobos, who is 25 years old, and she is an art therapy advocate. I like her quite a lot. You know that Ecuador won Miss Supranational around 2 years ago, and I feel like this year they have quite the strong candidates as well. Then we have a big favorite, a personal favorite of mine, Germany's Lakrini, who is 27 years old. She is adorable, and she is actually a Filipina. She went to Miss Globe, which is another minor international pageant, in 2023, and she got a 2nd runner-up placement. So once again, this to me just proves that Anna is very much world-wise. You know, she's been through the ringer. This is not her first rodeo. And also, I just feel like she's gorgeous. She's amazing. Expect her in the top at Miss Supranational this year. Thank you very much. Then we have Guatemala, Tokyo Cristina Gonzala, who is 21 years old, and she was in the top 20 at Miss Grand International 2024. Then we have Iceland's Lilja Petersdóttir, who is 21 years old. She competed at Miss Universe 2023, but unfortunately went unplaced. But I just think she is adorable. She is so beautiful to me. Then we have India's Ayushri Malik, who is 20 years old. She was in the top 5 at Miss Femina India 2024 as well. You guys know that Miss Femina India is the competition in India that chooses the Miss World candidate for India. But she also competed at Miss Diva, obviously, which is how she ended up being the Miss Supranational India. Then we have Indonesia's Firsta Yufi Amarta Putri, who is 24 years old. She holds a bachelor's degree in psychology and also a bachelor's degree in management. And oh my goodness, she has an incredible story. Both of her parents actually died of COVID within months of each other, which is so sad. But I adore Indonesia this year. She is just adorable. Then we have Japan's Nao Kawada, who is also an upcoming fan fave. She is 25 years old and a graphic designer. We also have Malaysia's Eshwin Kau, who is 24 years old and a forensic science graduate. I love that she's into forensic science. I mean, we love to see our girlies in like these stereotypically male fields the way that Malaysia is this year. Then we have Mexico's Angie Melcham, who is 22 years old, and she actually volunteers to help vulnerable children, which I love. Then, of course, we have my home country of Namibia, Savannah Pereira, who is 24 years old, and she advocates for neurodiversity and inclusive education. We also have Peru's Meira Mesa, who is 29 years old, and she actually has a career in law, so she is a smart cookie. We know that Peru is sort of one of the better countries at Miss Supranational, and this year definitely they are not lagging behind. Then of course I couldn't not include the Philippines, Tara Valencia, who is 23 years old. She has quite the national pageant history, and she's also an environmental advocate. I like Tara a lot. I feel like she has a lot of potential, and I am expecting to see her in that top 24 at Miss Supranational this year. Then we have Puerto Rico Valerie Clapadlo, who is 24 years old, and she is a marketing student. We love that. Of course, I couldn't go on without mentioning my birth country of South Africa. We have the gorgeous Lebohang Raputsu, who is 26 years old. She of course has a history at Miss South Africa, but she also placed for South Africa in the top 21 at Miss Cosmo 2024. Miss Cosmo is an up-and-coming pageant, which is a bit of a fan favorite right now, but it still has to earn its ropes as a major international pageant. But I would say that getting into the top 21 at Miss Cosmo 2024 was an amazing feat, since there were some incredible contestants at Miss Cosmo 2024. Then we have Spain, of course, Luna Negrin, who is 21 years old and a journalism undergraduate. And lastly, I couldn't go on without mentioning Venezuela's Lee Collins, who is 26 years old and a lawyer. So yes guys, those are my top 24 favorites for Miss Supranational 2025 so far. I have to mention that because we still have a lot of things going on at Miss Supranational, and so this list definitely will change, and I will have to arrange them in order, you know, to make a prediction, which is always the hardest and most difficult part of being a pageant fan, is choosing who you actually want to win and get into the top 5 and the top 10, etc. But let me know what you guys think so far. Is there someone who I left off my list who I actually should be keeping an eye on? Let me know. I would love to know. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!